We arrived at the east entrance of the Badlands National Park around 8 a.m. in the morning on a bright, clear day, not a cloud in the sky. We stopped at the Visitors Center to gather the necessary tour information and maps, which I would highly recommend doing. It's amazing what you learn about the park. We pulled off to the side of the road to capture this panoramic image. What a great greeting. Then it was back on the road to adventuring and exploring. This was our first stop at the park, at an unmarked pullout a short distance up the highway from the Visitors Center. We decided to follow the path to get our first look at the lay of the land. Little did we know our overall adventure into the Badlands would be such an amazing experience. It was mid-October and it was still very warm weather, but comfortable. The terrain appeared very dry and it was parched and beaten up from the hot summer sun. The land most likely had not seen any rain in a long time. Your eyes and mine soon adjust to the barren land. Strangely, the further we walked the trail, the surroundings became more interesting. The land definitely has an impact on you. This new neighborhood is very different.
The varied formations were captivating. Nature was exposing us to a new environment and telling us to pay attention and to take our time observing our surroundings, look up, down, and all around at the fantastical wonders before our eyes. Even the patterns at our feet were something to see, abstract paintings in nature. Due to the moisture of winter snows and spring rains, the parched land preserves signs of the wildlife that has passed its way.
It was a bit of a shock that we found so many growing life forms in the hot and dry ground. They all had odd shapes and colors, and we're not sure whether they were plants or weeds. They were very interesting and exposed us to nature's art. Mother Nature creates her art in the most unusual places. Every trail we walked, there was another image to capture.
For the middle of October, it was very dry and quite warm out yet. Still, there was an abundance of greenery and flowering plants that would surprise us by breaking up the stark beauty of the not-so-quite barren rock formations. The arid climate suits the growth of cacti, and there are several varieties found in the Badlands. Desert rose, the purple ball cactus which blooms just one day a year, and the prevalent prickly pear. The yellow, flowering variety of the prickly pear is the cactus most commonly found in the Badlands.
Visiting the Yellow Mounds overlook area of the park was fascinating. Layers of colors, yellow, purple, gray, and striped reddish beds on display. The colors in the mounds are mesmerizing. Depending on the time of day and the available light on the mounds, you will be captured in the moment.
Sunrise, twilight, sunsets, and the night skies are all wonderful times that showcase the formations in varying degrees of beautiful light. When you think you've seen it all, it will overwhelm you with another spectacular vision around the next curve in the road. The highlights and shadows created during the evening hours in the Badlands both accent and set the mood of any given scene. Sunsets and evening skies are exceptional, spectacular, and dramatic, no matter where you are in the Badlands National Park. The light is soft, and the colors are mostly reds, yellows, and orange, which cast a rich, warm, golden glow. This golden light also enhances the contrast and creates deep, rich shadows in the landscape. Photographers call the time just before sunset and shortly after sunrise the golden hour or the magic hour. Colorful sunset skies silhouette the wildlife that come out at dusk to feed in water before bedding down for the night. Our main encounters with the wildlife, who call the Badlands home, was mostly with the bighorn sheep. The moms and young'uns were the ones that we mostly saw in groups. Starting around sunset, they came out to feed and were never bothered by our presence. We always kept a safe distance, mostly photographing through the open windows of our truck. Remember, there are distance requirements set forth by the parks to protect both the visitors and the wildlife. Even these two, who looked like they were twins, ignored us. And of course, the prairie dogs. This guy, who was mostly much lighter in colors to the others, seemed to enjoy posing for my camera. No matter what time of day, the visitor will be delighted with the many different types of terrains to be found. The light on formations around the park can put a spell on you. Every scene will bring a new feeling or mood. The ever-changing light brings out the highlights and shadows of the terrain, along with the varying colors and textures of the landscape.
The variety of the many different types of terrains one will see is endless, no matter where you travel in the Badlands. The layers in any given terrain of the Badlands are truly a study in the park's geology. They are a tale of the lands passing through time. Yet to our eyes, they are amazing works of art found in nature.
It's sometimes difficult to tell whether a scene is a sunrise or a sunset, unless you've been there and know the lay of the land. We'll let you be the judge. The rich, warm light is cast out across the terrain to create deep shadows and glowing highlights on the peaks.
During the brighter part of the day, the sun outlines the surrounding high peaks and the rugged terrain. One's eyes are drawn to the sentinels in the terrain. The Badlands National Park has one of the largest expanses of mixed grass prairies in the country. In the mixed grass prairies, grasses can range in height from ankle high to waist high. Among these grasses you will find colorful patches of wildflowers, especially if you visit after a rainy spring. The most common grass in the park is western wheatgrass, which grows 1 to 3 feet tall and is the state grass of South Dakota. The beauty of the Badlands is truly unlimited. Every day brings another look and adventure.